Hey everybody, it's Jeff from Dirty Pool Pinball. I just got back from Stern to check out their next Cornerstone game. I got to hang out with a bunch of amazing influencers, and I got a big tour of the factory. But Jeff, you say, fine. So let's talk about the game. First and foremost, I like Star Wars, but I'm not like a massive Star Wars fan. So take that with a grain of salt. Also, when we're playing the game there, it's like half talking to people and half playing the game. So the amount of time I've actually had on hands with Star Wars is maybe an hour. We get about a 15 or 20 minute session to play it privately in a room. And then we have time to play it just while we're shooting the shit with everybody. So just keep that in mind. The term that I would give this game is it is an accessible game. And I think that's going to turn off a lot of hardcore players. And I think it's also aligning with Stern's interest of trying to get more people into pinball. I think this game is better than the 2017 Star Wars, Steve Ritchie one. It's less punishing in that it is a fan layout with most of the shots far back, but it's also insanely fast, as you would expect from a board game, and it flows really quick. So it's fun, and I think that's really important, but you should be aware getting into it as you find it on location or find footage of it online, that the game is a very traditional fan layout. It's not taking a lot of risks. Some of the other really interesting stuff on it, we're on Spike 3 now, and the Spike 3 system has a lot of stuff. I talked to George Gomez specifically about all the audio improvements. Here's some interesting info on that. There's a completely new amplifier and audio system that goes into the game. The Pro and the Premium version of the game have a mid-range tweeter and the woofer tweeter as the base combo set for it. The LE version gets a special high-frequency tweeter that goes into it. That space exists on the Pro and Premium models, but it's a spacer filler. It's not an actual tweeter there. George mentioned that, I forget if he had mentioned it was in the future or currently, that they're going to be sealed back boxes around the speakers as well, because the power module has been moved to the center of the back box. So just in general, the audio in the game is substantially better. And Stern made a bunch of claims that it's more wattage and this and that, and those are awesome numbers on paper, but the reality is a 5,000 watt sound system that's barely turned on, it's kind of irrelevant. It doesn't distort at loud volume, but the reality is you're probably not going to be running it at extremely loud volume. Other perks, the screen is great. It's a huge screen on there. I don't think it's quite as large as a Jersey Jack screen, but it's substantially larger. And that is a good segue into the art package. The art on the game is amazing, with one caveat. The playfield artwork looks a little too similar to the 2017 version and is a little uninspiring for my taste personally. The cabinet artwork, the backbox artwork for all different versions is incredible. It's really amazing, and I swear you gotta see it in person. Every single version has its own character to it. One of them is more Endor, I believe that's the Pro. The Premium has, many of us agreed that the Premium artwork should probably be the LE back glass, but I think a lot of people are gonna have their own opinion on that, whether they like one or the other. The LE model has the Hoth-like vibe. It's very snowy, for lack of a better word. And then the Premium, like I said, is more of the traditional kind of movie poster vibe, which has all the characters on it. The likeness is really great. Just in general, the art package is absolutely exceptional. It really is fun. So let's talk about the playfield layout, right? So this game has essentially 4 slingshots. Jeff, you say, no, I'm not gonna do that gag again. It essentially has 4 slingshots. It's got 2 floating pop bumpers that are symmetrically on the left and right side, and then below that is the regular slingshots. So in essence, there's 4 randomization kind of transients on the playfield. The left and right slingshots are full orbits. It's kind of like Pulp Fiction without the stop so that it drops it down the middle. So if you hit a spinner on one side or the other, it comes screaming back at you. And one issue that we did notice on location was the Pro, the way it was either angled or the way that the metal guides on that were set up, is that did cause a lot of straight down the middle drains. But the Premium and the LE didn't have any of those issues. So Also, this is something that's gonna probably be diversive on what's included with the Pro versus the premium models. The Pro is almost identical functionally, except for cosmetic components on it. And I'm talking about there's a Jabba the Hutt sitting over the Sarlacc pit. I'm sure someone's gonna correct me on that. Remember, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I'm just like a fan. All cosmetic stuff with the exception of one. This is a mechanic that I wish has been in pinball for quite a while. I had thought about it, that it would be cool in a game. Stern actually put it in. It is the Force, which is a magnetic ball save. Essentially, it's a slingshot, a Magnasling from Ghostbusters or, I don't know, Grand Lizard, that exists directly underneath the flippers. And it will capture the ball when you hit the center button and throw it back up into the playfield if you've qualified it to be at a super level. And then if you drain out the out lanes, you can hit it to have a short pulse, which will send it into the shooter lane. It's really cool. It's also insanely hard, and I don't know if this is something that is going to be like OP because it becomes too easy once you know how to do it on your particular game, or if it's just something that really is going to be skill-based over time and that it's just an excellent mechanic. Again, we haven't played it for hours and hours on end like in a home setup, so your mileage may vary. So yeah, I think people are either going to be kind of happy that the game has got all the components except for the Force or not, and that could drive a lot of the purchasing power in terms of whether you want one or not. I think this game is going to do very well in arcades. It is immediately accessible, it is fast, it's just very friendly for new players. The concern I have is for people that are more veteran players and are looking for a very more complicated, long-playing game, what that's gonna look like. I'm not gonna comment on the modes, wizard modes, things like that. I talked to Borg, he said that there was like a mini wizard mode and something else that needed to go in. In terms of what's in the game, it seems pretty feature complete, but we weren't focusing, or at least I was not focusing on deep rule set, deep mode starting. Sorry, you're gonna have to find someone else's video on that, and I'm sure Stern will get into that more as they start getting more and more footage out. So yeah, how do I feel about this game? I'm not gonna buy one personally, but I do think it's going to be a good game, and I do think it's gonna help get more people into pinball. You can see Costco, you can see that Stern is pushing to get a lot more people into pinball. And in their presentation to us, they made specific announcements that the franchise is worth like $54 billion or something like that. And that it was one of the biggest franchises that they've worked with, and that they're pushing Costco to get their home game out there to have more people be able to play that at a lower price point. Stern knows that Star Wars is a huge opportunity to get more people into pinball, because people that don't care about pinball but do care about Star Wars are probably going to buy a pinball machine if it has a lot of hype behind it, or if it hits a price point. And they've got games that are now cheap in Costco for people that don't have a lot of money to blow on an expensive pinball machine. And then they have this game, which is the new landmark for whatever their Spike 3 system is. Let's touch base on Spike 3 real quick. If you were expecting a quantum leap in kind of pinball technology for Spike 3, it's not there. This is an iterative thing. It is absolutely better than Spike 2. The screen size is better. There is an HDMI output with audio on it for streamers. Hallelujah. It's just the whole package in itself is better, but it's not gonna stop you and make you go, oh my God. It's just a little better, and that's okay. Those are my thoughts on Star Wars. I highly recommend you go find one and check it out. I think it'll be a really exciting league game. I do think that it has the potential of being fairly long playing, as with many of the newer Sterns. But there's an airplane, so I have to stop talking now. So yeah, other than Star Wars, it was a real blast. We got a tour of the facility. Stern's massive. There's just no other way to say it. The facility and the size of manufacturing potential that exists at Stern is amazing. They were very open. Kyle gave us a huge tour of the floor. Jack Danger joined and just kind of like goofed off and showed us around and explained all the different parts. Kyle talked about the press. Man, he loves talking about that press. So we got the big tour, and they talked us through all the different stages from building coupling and wires all the way down to kind of first stage QC passes to final. And we got to see a game being born as it was entered into the box before shipping off to, I don't know, maybe one of you. So the experience was really great. Also, I thoroughly enjoyed meeting all the other Pinfluencers, or whatever the term is. Everybody was amazing. It was great to put faces in person to people that I've been talking to and chatting online with. And I don't know, what an awesome, friendly, wholesome experience. Specifically, I want to give a shout out to George from Don't Panic Flip and also Colin from Kineticist. They helped for a few handful of filming moments where it's just, I'm not Goro, I don't have hands. Or Vishnu, I don't know, pick whatever creature that has enough hands to film as your preferred joke. But yeah, they were incredibly helpful, and yeah, the slow-mo footage that I have is in thanks to Colin helping out with his dad, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Go check out Kineticist. Certainly go check out Don't Panic Flip, and yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I gotta go do a lot of editing in order to get this out because Stern has put us on an NDA and the embargo list tomorrow, and I want to get that out to you guys so you can check out all the footage that I took along with the new trailer and everything that's gonna drop for it. So yeah. Thank you again to Stern for having me out. It's my first experience. Honestly, it just couldn't be more enjoyable. I really had a blast, and yeah, I hope to be able to give coverage on future games for you guys and give you my honest insight. Anyways, if you see a Star Wars, oh, right, shipping. Let's talk about that. Duh. So, according to their schedule, which they gave us, the premiums and the LEs are going to be shipping at the end of this month, that's September, and also at the beginning of October, the production of the pros is going to start. So if you are jumping on the bandwagon now, sometime at the end of September, early October, you should be receiving your game if your distributor is high on the list and however that magic works. So yeah, I don't know. If you're into Star Wars, I think you're gonna like this game better than 2017 one. But as usual, find a game and play it before you buy it. Make your own assessment. Check out all the footage online and find people that you trust their opinion. If it's not me, find someone else. And yeah, other than that, have a great day. All praise the Great Pyramid. I'm gonna go edit all this shit now. Bye. Ugh. I love D&D. D&D is my favorite game.